Welcome to the XFO Intelligence Podcast, the definitive source for strategic insights serving global family offices and ultra-high net worth investors. I'm your host, and today we're exploring a truly transformative trend that's reshaping the entire family office landscape, the historic migration of capital into private markets. What we're witnessing isn't merely an allocation adjustment, it's a fundamental transformation of how family offices deploy their permanent capital. Our latest research, conducted using Brendan Wong's groundbreaking deep augmented thinking methodology, reveals both unprecedented opportunities and hidden systemic risks that every CIO and family office principal absolutely must understand. Let me start with the numbers that should capture your attention immediately. Family office allocations to private markets have surged to an average of 30% of portfolios, now actually surpassing public equities. This represents the most significant capital reallocation in family office history, driven by the pursuit of illiquidity premiums that only permanent capital structures can truly capture. But here's where our deep augmented thinking analysis reveals something that conventional research completely misses. This isn't just about individual investment decisions. We've uncovered that this migration is creating an entirely new financial ecosystem, one with emergent properties that no single family office can control or predict. The fundamental driver is elegantly powerful. Family offices possess what we call the ultimate strategic advantage: permanent capital with multi-generational time horizons. This makes them uniquely positioned to bear illiquidity risk in exchange for premiums that other investors simply cannot access. It's not just about higher returns, it's about exploiting a structural market inefficiency that's been hiding in plain sight for decades. Now, here's where our deep augmented thinking approach uncovers critical insights that traditional analysis completely overlooks. We've identified powerful feedback mechanisms that are reshaping the entire ecosystem in ways most family offices don't fully appreciate. And these dynamics could make or break your long-term success. The positive feedback cycles create incredibly powerful virtuous dynamics. Successful direct investments enhance your internal expertise, which leads to better future deal selection and even more success. Similarly, participating in club deals strengthens your network with other sophisticated family offices, providing access to superior deal flow and higher returns, which attracts even more high-quality network partners. But, and this is absolutely crucial for your risk management, our analysis also reveals negative feedback mechanisms that create hidden systemic fragility. A macroeconomic shock can trigger simultaneous liquidity demands from multiple family offices, overwhelming the limited secondary market and causing catastrophic repricing of private assets. This risk is completely invisible when you're analyzing individual family office balance sheets in isolation. Through our deep augmented thinking methodology, we've discovered three critical dynamics emerging in this new ecosystem that every sophisticated family office must understand to navigate successfully. First, capital herding creates dangerous bubble formations that can devastate unprepared portfolios. Money rapidly flows into sectors showing strong performance signals: artificial intelligence, biotechnology, climate technology, inflating valuations until they reach completely unsustainable levels and suddenly collapse. Second, we're witnessing the formation of what we call super hub family offices, a relatively small number of highly expert, exceptionally well-connected family offices that become central nodes in the entire network. These super hubs attract disproportionate capital and premium deal flow, effectively creating a two-tier system where your network access and internal expertise determine absolutely everything. And third, and perhaps most dangerous for the unprepared, is the emergence of hidden systemic fragility. The private markets ecosystem appears remarkably stable during normal conditions, almost deceptively so. But our deep augmented thinking analysis shows it can reach critical stress thresholds where everything changes simultaneously, creating system-wide disruption that cascades through the entire network with devastating speed. The risks facing family offices today are far more sophisticated than most principals realize. Beyond the obvious challenges of liquidity timing mismatches, we've identified what term volatility masking, where infrequent model-based private asset valuations create artificially smooth reported returns that completely obscure the true underlying economic volatility. Our deep augmented thinking analysis suggests the actual economic risk embedded in these portfolios is 50 to 100% higher than what appears on your quarterly reports. So what does this mean for your strategic positioning? Our deep augmented thinking methodology points to 5 critical imperatives that will absolutely separate the winners from the casualties in this rapidly evolving landscape. First, you must develop genuinely sophisticated liquidity planning that goes beyond simply maintaining cash reserves. This requires rigorous cash flow modeling and comprehensive stress testing against multiple scenarios to ensure you can meet both capital calls and family obligations without forced sales. Second, conduct a brutally honest assessment of your internal investment capabilities before pursuing direct investments. Most family offices should follow a carefully phased approach. Begin with fund investments, progress to co-investments, and only then consider direct deals once you've built the necessary expertise. Third, proactively build and maintain strategic networks with other sophisticated family offices and top-tier partners. In this new ecosystem, your relationship network directly determines your access to the highest quality opportunities and provides shared expertise that significantly mitigates risks. Fourth, fundamentally adjust your risk modeling assumptions. You need to discount those deceptively smooth reported returns and model your portfolio assuming significantly higher underlying volatility than standard reports suggest. Finally, embrace institutional-grade governance and operational processes. As your allocations and complexity grow, you need institution-quality systems for due diligence, decision-making, and performance monitoring across both public and private holdings. The family offices that will truly thrive are those that recognize they're no longer simply capital allocators. They've become active participants in a complex, interconnected system. Your success will be determined not only by individual deal selection, but by your preparedness for inevitable system-wide stresses. The greatest strategic opportunities lie ahead for family offices that build genuine resilience, deep expertise, and strong networks before the next major correction arrives. Sustainable competitive advantage will flow to those who understand these dynamics and position themselves strategically. This comprehensive analysis was made possible through deep augmented thinking, Brendan Wong's revolutionary methodology that reveals strategic insights and systemic risks that conventional research simply cannot uncover. By looking beyond surface trends to understand deeper structural forces, deep augmented thinking provides the strategic clarity needed to navigate increasingly complex markets. If you want to learn more about how deep augmented thinking can transform your family office's strategic approach, I encourage you to explore this revolutionary methodology further. Until next time, this is the XFO Intelligence Podcast, where sophisticated thinking meets strategic action for the world's most discerning investors.